You wrong to that. That thing your love for me. That.
Sufa Allah.
Yeah.
As-salam, as-salam. Latif al-Sufian we. Yes, the ancient language back on the land.
Mm-hmm. It's good to hear.
It took a long time.
Yes, indeed. Kept on searching.
Kept on.
They kept on searching.
Mm-hmm. The enemy of truth tried to take away
he took
the sound.
He took it so far.
The harmony.
Yes, indeed.
Of truth. Mm-hmm. This is something big for myself, so I'll have a lot of time to waste.
Yeah.
So we talk about the uncommon knowledge over here. You're gonna hear not so common. Everybody speak what's common, what's known already. You come here when you want to know something new, something you never heard before, something divine from the Creator.
Beautiful.
Just as today. So we're gonna open up with understanding the timeline. No longer 1492 is the number you need to land on.
Yeah.
The new timeline is 610.
Beautiful.
In 610, we have our records recorded from 610.
Beautiful.
Before 1492,
yes.
And anything that was recorded after 1492.
Beautiful.
So keep that out your mind, 1492, and anything subsequent. Replace that with 610. This represents you and yours, and your own. As all of the Asiatic masters that came before us was bringing the message to remind us of what I'm finna remind us of. All praises be to Allah. The first Americans. The first Americans were named the Sioux. This is what you never heard, and this is what was taken away by the enemy of truth and the lover of ignorance. The Sioux is your vibration before words of creation. And this is longer than all races' lifespan in existence combined. This is older than the sun, moon, and the star. This is older than the universe. From the universe, for the universe came out the Sioux. And the first man, this is where we get SUFIANS. This was the first American.
Look at him. Come on with it.
Known as the Asiatic black man.
Come on with it.
Remember 610. Your recorded history. No hearsay.
Yeah,
This is no hearsay. They have been scared of this vibration of the rising of the Sioux. And so the first place, the Sufian land, was Asia. So before you knew it to be America, it was Asia, the land of the Sioux.
Oh, yeah, the truth.
So when you hear words like Ashe,
Ho!
those vibrations come from the ancient Asiatic Sufian. Asu. As the oldest name of Asia, the ancient land. So Asiatics have the ancient land because Asiatics are the ancient people. And recorded in history was the name SUFIANS. So as you heard let's say the moniker Asiatics and Muslims, that comes from Asiatics, Sufians. So when you hear the word Musalam, Musalam was the identity of every black man before his forgetfulness. To be a Musalam, you had to have the DNA, the spiritual DNA of the Sufian.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So if you are familiar with any text of the Nation of Islam, then there's something called the Black God. The Black God is the new phraseology for something way older before you was called black by white. Before black and white existed, this is the truth of existence. Asiatic Sufian. The earth and the heaven. As it is on earth, so it is in heaven. This was how paradise was created. So before Independence Day, you was already independent.
Look at him. Come on with it.
Before a July 4th,
come on with it. It's getting good now.
You was already independent. The word day comes from the word deity. You always had and known your independent deity that kept you free as long as you existed in the universe. So the sounds of the Sioux had to be suppressed. So this is where you get words like suppress. They got to press out the Sioux in you. Because the Sioux go far back, farther than the mind, farther back than the flesh. Farther back than the spirit of truth. We're talking about direct descendants of the spirit of the Lord.
Lord of the universe.
So the first Americans were SUFIANs.
Come on with it. Speak the truth.
Before they put the African on the American, this what you was before they called you African. Your descendancy never called itself African. Always Asiatic, always Sufian, and this is always what a Musalam will ever be. So it's a lot of untold history about our land, that our land is the most ancient of all lands. That is the most natural and has the most natural forms out of all lands. Because something great happened on our land. What happened that was so great on our land? The great man Abraham, the great man Abraham was born on our land, which was set forever in perpetuity of people of the Lord to always exist. So this is the familiarity that you have as the misnomer of African. What you're trying to say is Asiatic. This is that swag, that swaa, that sufa that everybody wants. See, they talk about the drop of blood, that all they want from you is a drop of your blood to get that soup. And so they have reformatted the Sioux into sex, into sect, into soot, and even turning Sioux into Superman. This is how great your theme is of what you knew before you was wiped clean by the men in black. memory device. And they swiped the story of Abraham and started making mockery of something that was real. And today, these things have now become well-known, blasted, mainstream religions. When they come from your ancient grounds, of your ancient holy land, which was the way for you, the way for your family, the way for your community. And this form of culture was wiped from your memory. So jewels have been coming from Asiatic people, giving us a long line of understanding the wisdom of Allah. As they say, as one fall, the other shall rise. So when we fell, they rose. And now you finna see the original, which is called the first. So we're going to get to this divine understanding. For us, it was, now, emphasis on was, it was easy. But since we picked up others' way of their life, we lost our own. How we believe. How we know. How we walk, live, and be. And all this was countered by counter religions. So we done covered a great amount of understanding those different religions that have countered our own faith. And they established new faiths through denominations of an old time wisdom. Our faith of the SUFIANS is that old time wisdom. This that ancient truth. So it don't get more clearer for those who come from the first. See, the second or any number after can't understand.
I don't think why not. It should.
This is this understanding is exclusively ours.
If it's not first, you can't be.
This is why it's called SUFIANS.
Right on.
See, they thought they can take Asia by calling it America. But these people think they can trick Allah. So the black man has been accepting the white man's way of life,
That's right.
way of belief,
Mm-hmm.
and his systems of worship.
So true. So true.
Thinking it's his own.
Mm.
Now we must know, before you was converted to a black man by the white man, you was an Asiatic SUFIAN.
Look at this. What did he just say? I was. I can hear listen to people don't know.
We here to put the order right. We can't sustain ourselves off of disorder.
Nope.
That's not our way.
You ain't gonna punch it right. Disorder.
See, we work with some of the furs. This is what gives us our natural order. So if everything is naturally divine, then the divine and natural is the natural order. So there is a first when we're talking about order. And this is what's been taken away from us, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to scope it down with the telescope of self.
Right on.
Now, if I ask, what is the smallest time unit that they started us to know? The smallest time unit is seconds. Think about this. The lowest they brought us to understanding time was seconds.
7.
Where's the first? They say minutes, then seconds.
Yeah.
60 seconds make 1 minute. There's 1 minute, but where's the first? See, and this is why they wipe the memory off the count.
Right off the cap.
See, and this is called the sacred count.
Mm.
This is what they don't want you to know. Remember, this ain't common knowledge. You don't come here to get common knowledge. You can go to your library. You can go to your liar and get any common knowledge. But when it comes to truth, truth is not popular. Truth is contrary to the popularity. Everything popular ain't true. So when we're talking about why it's the soup, this is what's been taken from you. Sioux goes back deeper in your ancestral roots than all of anything made from spirit on earth.
Oh yeah. Before we get too far on the number, you mentioned that the number 7, and they gave us the number 7. When you said that, are you referring to the 7 as the 7 days of the week, or the 7 fine art that they gave?
Good question. I'm glad you said that because I messed up then. I mean to say second.
Okay.
Instead of 7.
Okay.
But I'm glad you said 7.
Okay.
Because 7 ties into second. Oh, this finna get good. I'm glad you brought your input. Any input, please.
I'm thinking along too.
Right. So we can bring everything from how anybody.
Might have questions along. I don't want to interfere and interrupt you or anything like that. But I was just curious about when you said that and what they gave us. So they gave us everything we pretty much got.
Everything that
Can't
we
nobody
have
deny that.
comes from the Sioux. This is what all kings of orders use. And this is what they use so much and abuse that they lose the way. And the same that has happened to what we call this duality called black and white. This never existed as an Asiatic Sufian. Black and white was not separated. That was a unity.
I figured that.
Never a duality.
That's right.
Let me show you now.
Oh, I'm with you.
The unity is how we made the white man. Y'all don't know, understand this. This ain't common knowledge. Since unity has been destroyed from your mind by accepting the white man's creation for you by him as black, I'm black and I'm proud.
And say it loud.
This is how you lost the unity of your understanding of how the white man came to be. So when you lost or you was bumped in the head and everything went dark, your light would transfer. And as it went to sleep, this is when he woke up to play. As they say, when the cat asleep.
Yeah. When the cat's away, the mouse is asleep.
So this is what we're talking about here. He flipped the script and switched the flip. What do I mean? Originally, the Asiatic Sufian understands and knows the knowledge of the white man. Before the white man was the Asiatic Sufian always. So now when we're talking about how did the Asiatic lose his wisdom? By forgetting you created the white man. You made the white man. And since you lost this unity, you have been in black and white duality. Now, since you are asleep, the white man gonna do exactly what you did. He's gonna make him a black man. And this is why you call black today. Because you lost your knowledge of unity. That you made the white man. The white man came from the black man. See, and that's what was lost.
Man. That's powerful.
This ain't common knowledge.
That's powerful.
It's Friday, right?
You mean to tell me he calling his thing father a nigga?
There you go. These the things when you forget who you are, the consequences, or to say the conduct is rewarded or punished. So your divine creator is waking your, like they say, your black ass up.
Right on. To the bone. This time ain't no more sleep.
Right. So, is when you knew all this, what I'm speaking on.
Mm-hmm.
See, when the black man knew himself, he was called the SUFIAN.
Yes, indeed.
When the black woman knew herself, she was called an Asiatic. And this is how we got Asiatic SUFIAN. The male and the female birthing the male and the female.
Beautiful.
Everlasting to the point that we here today.
Beautiful.
But you don't know this first beginning. Because of 1492. They changed the Sioux to black. So to describe who you are, they put black on it. Your word was Sufian. It never meant black. But to their minds, since they're external, all they see is skin.
Yeah.
So when we say Sufian, they thinking skin complexion. When this is the spirit of the Lord. This is the divine mind. That never forgets. I hope I ain't going too fast.
Oh, you gonna take your time and everything is lovely.
Because the 4th of July ain't about them.
Oh, it's right there. 1776.
Uh-oh, I'm glad somebody brought
I
it
got to call that number.
I'm glad
you said 1492.
92, and the next number.
And you call another number 610.
That's our number.
Leading up.
Our number is 610.
Yeah.
That's on record for eternity.
All right.
His number, 1492, which led to 1776.
76. Okay.
These are his numbers.
Yeah.
For his creation of the black man and the black woman.
Yeah.
Remembering what you forgot.
That's right.
Same what I'm saying out of my mouth. If you understand it, the same apply for the woman, the sisters. The white woman been tricking her, the sisters, out of their minds.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Because this is what they forgot.
Dyeing their hair blonde.
They made the white woman
red. Brunette.
We made the rainbow.
Come on with it.
Ain't no nation on the planet that's living and breathing the oxygen of the Creator did not come from an Asiatic.
Come on with it. Speak the truth.
So if y'all ever heard of that creation where the women, it was the planet was full of women.
Woo! My.
Nothing but beautiful.
Joy to the world.
See, and this is what these women were Asiatics. And equally fine, handsome, and divine.
Beautiful.
Was that the Asiatic woman seen? A Sufian. The best parts of the best parts
Behold.
Hey, this is before a black man and a white man. This is before a white woman and a black woman.
Come on with it. I hear you. I'm listening. Because I see the light.
See, and this knowledge begin to get lost and lost and lost.
Further and further away. Yes, indeed.
So if you heard from the Nation of Islam, in their teachings, they was teaching you about 1 trillion years.
That's right.
This is going to take you back. Now, we're going a little further back. They took us, what, to 67 trillion years.
Yep.
So now we at the final mark of that, the first beginning. 144 trillion years.
Look at this.
The Asiatic SUFIAN has been existing.
Look at this.
There's no birth record, and here's the birth record.
Look at this.
From the beginning of 144 trillion years.
Oh boy, that's.
We've been in existence. So don't take the fall as we've been this way for a long time. No, they didn't record your trillions of years of you running and being awake. So you been asleep for 6,000 years in biblical history, according to biblical sorcery.
Yeah.
6,000 years they put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Now you divide that by 144 trillion.
Oh man.
Zeros.
See what you gonna get. Oh my goodness.
And you ain't been asleep but a moments of time, y'all.
Look at that.
That's why
Beautiful.
the Sioux hasn't been heard until the time it needs to be heard. They say it's going to be a trumpet blown. I hope y'all know trumpet makes sound. That means it's going to be a new word that's going to be lifted up. That's going to change the earth into the new heaven. The new heaven is going to come down and descend.
Revelation.
See, this is the true revelation. Divine revelation.
Right on.
Nobody work has been in vain if they have been a part of the Asiatic.
Right on.
So all the accounts you know of called the Bible and the Quran.
Yeah.
These are 6,000-year-old accounts of what they remember from what was said to them back in those times.
That's correct.
And of course, since you sleep, you know how people play. They put ketchup on your face.
Yeah.
Put sugar in your mouth.
Yeah.
Throw water on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing while you asleep.
Yeah.
Except they playing with your word.
Yeah.
That you gave.
That's right.
So now the Bible is reminding them that there was a made man. Let us make man in our image, in our likeness. If we already look like each other, what we talking about?
Right on.
We talking likeness, meaning kind of a man.
Kind of, yeah. Kind.
Me, not a
Look
Sufian,
like it. Yeah, look like it.
but another man.
Yeah, similar. Mm-hmm.
So now we're talking about.
You can't deny that. Mankind.
This is what we're talking about. Let us. Who is us? Well, guess what, y'all? The letter us tells on itself. Remember, everything came from us.
That's right.
The reason why us exists because we exist. And the reason why they use us is because we exist. We are the only thing that exists. Everything else is the balance of our existence. And so we love all races. That's why we continue to let y'all on our land. We love all nations. This is why we let y'all act like y'all running things. We love our children. That's why we letting y'all play.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
Oh, they've been listening well.
Yeah.
They know the truth was on its way.
Yeah.
They've heard it.
Yeah.
And they never matched it. And so they know that greater was coming.
Mm-hmm. I was back and I heard you say that how we love everybody, we let them all come on the land and all this shit. And we've done just that, and the record speak for itself. Now I know they wrote a whole Indian story that wasn't nothing but an Indian ride a horse. But if you look at the hieroglyph in Grand Canyon, that'll tell you something else too. So the proof was on it, was right there on the water. The handwriting, that's Daniel. If you want a copycat and use Daniel, the handwriting on the wall, then you can stop right there. You're absolutely right. They know. But when we talk about putting up a wall and calling for immigration law and the stupid president they got now doing all this crazy stuff, everybody have to get out. If we were that way and act in the fool like them, but we hummer standing back in the corner, watching them all run all over the place like rats and roaches. I get the floor.
It is all so perfect. Returning to let us make man.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be no man.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be no kind of man. Without us, it would be no us. Now check this out. If you reverse the letters of us, you will find out who us is. The Sioux.
Look at that.
The Sioux. The SUFIANS made a Sufa. See, we're talking way before your Bible and your Quran.
Yeah.
This is how your Quran and your Bible have those stories inserted into them.
Mm-hmm.
That's our last historical evidence of making the universal people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it was, so this is what it is.
That's right.
And this is how we gave everyone, every nation you see today, their own creation story.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And it all began in the ancient lands
That's right.
of the Sioux.
Yeah.
See, the Sioux is above the spirit, the mind, and the body. So when we saying make man and the likeness, we talking about they also gonna have a body, a mind, and a spirit.
That's some kind of power to give them.
Come on now, this is what we give when we created and made other people.
Right on.
So this is what has been hidden from us. Since you now have adopted through accepting the white man's thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not going to tell you what you forgot.
That's right. No, he ain't. He wants you to be lost. He done told you Columbus covered America, ain't he?
So as long as you forgot and keep forgetting,
Yes, indeed. Huh?
it's called the game of chess.
Oh.
Black and white. Kings, queens, and rooks. See, so when people wake up, they still a rookie when they sleep. Controlled by games of chess. Remember, the chess is the heart. So the black and white is the twin serpents, or the head and the tail of the serpent of the caduceus. Of the black and white energy coursing through the body. See, now we know that what the brown germ was. Have you thought on it? Say when the white man look under his microscope and look into the cells, he find two cells in black people. And they call it the black germ and the brown germ.
Beautiful. Good goodness of that. How?
But now we know the brown germ is the white germ. So within the black man is something he would never know unless he get his untold self-knowledge. of who he truly is as the original black man.
Who can deny that? Beautiful.
So it's a lot that we gotta understand that we haven't been told. But if you're able to think, you can raise yourself up to knowing. So for us, these are our gestures of the infinite love, of eternal love that our Creator possessed. So by the first people, we made all things. The first people was the people in the Creator. And what came out of the Creator is the first people. And so there's been a theology on time. So before it was just a you, that's where the you comes from. So when we talking about the you comes from the self, the su. And the su is how we get you. You as in universe. The universe is the soon-niverse. This is why night comes before day. This is natural order. You don't plant a seed in light. That's natural order. For things to grow, they have to be planted in the dark zone. So the universe was created by the Su, where the you and I become one. So if you have heard anything called the Sunnah, these are people biting like ants. Like ants, grouping up like a colony, taking the little resources, ant by ant, grain by grain, tracing them in their colony back to their place. The same thing is done to our. That's why we beyond world-class people.
We are.
We are universal people. We can create worlds. Because it's in our spiritual DNA. So the Sunnah means the first. So the Sunnah is the Sunni verse of the Su. So those of the Asiatic bloodline was by nature Sufians. Those that was on high came and descended down low. The Sunnah has nothing to do with a sect. The Sunnah is within Islam. Islam existed before the universe existed. In fact, the universe is the manifestation of the Su. If the Su did not exist, the universe right now would collapse. This hidden one that's holding up the universe is called the Su. And it has nothing to do with a physical form. When you hear Sufian, that's not skin. That's self. Asiatic, that's skin. As our beautiful sisters, that's skin. That's where we get the skin from. These the natural women that have that natural glow and beauty without no makeup. They tell you, it's just natural. I just woke up. I just put this on. You come from the source of Su. You Su. So now that's when this power Su has been now created to destroy you. The white man has reversed it by saying that the black man is black. By you not knowing who you are bound to self-destruct as an individual. As a people, we will always be here. But as an individual, you will self-destruct. Your freedom of who you are is tied to your knowledge of self. And the more you don't get any knowledge of who you are only creating a self-destruction for your own individuality. This is what he knows. This is why he loves for you to call yourself black. Not in the sense that it's empowering him, though it is financially, but it destroys you because you don't know what black is. We call that black Su. This is what's called the dark matter or the dark energy of the universe that they cannot explain to you. because they're not the first. Second place is second place. They can tell you about seconds and everything after. That's why they was made. You can tell us everything after. And we'll tell you about everything before. And this is how we became one. It was a long time ago now. It was a long time ago when black people and white people was one. It didn't last long, but it was a time. But now we're talking, in that time, the white man was not given his ascension rights. So since you didn't want to give, in that time period, the ascension rights, this is why you got an ascension called black man. You don't know who you are. You have no identity. You and your mate, the black woman, both together have lost their identity of who they are. And that's what you, not you personally, but you part of the Asiatic, for not holding your own individuality over time. This is what happens to us. We are bound in righteousness. We are created from righteousness. So every time we come in an individual form, we are bound to our duties and obligations. It's never a time that you would not exist, so you got to wake up. All you're going to do is just keep turning the level of destruction up to the point where you completely annihilate yourself. But the annihilation is not that you never exist. It's just going to be like you were asleep. And you're going to be asleep for a long period of time before you come back to the spirit, mind, and body. Because this is a triune thing. The body cannot exist without the mind. The mind can't exist without the spirit. This is a triune working as a balance called the divine mind. The body, the mind, and the spirit is all there to work for the divine mind, which is the self of the creator. This is how he sent himself is you, the self. This is how he sent himself in you. But you don't know who you work for. You say you ain't got a job.
Yep.
You see, this is what I mean. You don't know who you are.
So you need a job.
The black man walking around looking for a job. The black woman walking around looking for a job. They don't know who they work for. So since you don't know who you work for, that's where you get the name black man. Black woman. And their innocent, poor black child. Missing 144 trillion years of history.
Go down the drain.
Where you're going to get 6,000 years. That's like you wait in a year's time for something that take a second. This is what's happening. What is taking for you to remember in a moment is taking you a year's time. This is how slow the other races are. They're made to make sure this existence on the physical plane, it's like living animals. The animals got their nature, they're going to carry it out. And they're going to do it because it's their nature. So the same way when we made the other rainbows or rainbow images, They have a nature. Some of them you made to build metals. Some of them you made to bend metals. Some of them you made to fly things past the clouds. Some people you made to work behind a cash register. You wasn't finna do all this anymore. You done it for trillions of years. Now you're gonna bring into existence people so they can enjoy life. But when you got these things called dirty, this is where it all got messed up. And it's called ascension rites. See, you was a Asiatic Sufian, it wasn't nothing to ascend. You come from. But every other nation and people would not have any ascension rights if they're not given it to by those who are from the descendants of the ascended masters. So this is how religion started carrying on this forefront. Since the rights wasn't passed over for them to ascend, they created false religions, taking what they have as scraps and making the best out of it. But for them, it would become control. Kings and kingdoms would be controlled and become what we see today. So please don't think everything you see in the universe don't have a cause. You as a Sioux was the cause, but you don't understand that anymore. July 4th is for you, but you don't understand it no more. So they're going to use it for them. They're going to say things they don't know, like it represents the Sirius star, the dog star, the God star. See, these things they don't know. They point into the Sioux, but they don't know the Sioux. So they got made up things that we never gave them. And so now it's here to return so all can have, genes included. And it's going to be called the family of Islam. But you see it in reverse right now, with the white man got the black man by his own knowledge right now.
Yeah. See it.
And since the black man have accepted the white man's ideology of who he is, he has forgot himself. She has forgot herself. So as a black woman and black man, all you want is what the white man has. Because back in the day, as you said, the field nigga and the house nigga, that's what the black man and the black woman has become. White man's property. There's nothing evil, y'all. It's just you don't know yourself. Right. And when you come to know yourself, watch the shackles remove itself. It's all a dream you need to wake up from. You are moving with amnesia. Every year, July 4th then came and you don't know the real cause of it yet. All this stuff is to remind you of who you was. This ain't got nothing to do with their history. This is just all they know. This is just all they was told. Red is a powerful color. Blue is a powerful color. White is a powerful color. This is all we was told. Yeah. So you got a flag that's red, white, and blue that's have stars on it, but you don't understand SUFIANS. that you come from the stars, you descended from the stars, you was before the stars, and what was before the stars is black. But we didn't never call it black. Now that the white man on the scene, now it's called black. So when you hear black power and it feels like it has power behind it, this is why. It's something that is pointing to that really exists, but you don't know the true name of it. So you can't tap into it. The suit will heal your whole body, mind, spirit. It came before all numbers. It's the eraser of all numbers. When you go to sleep, that's like a premature birth into soup. See, this universe don't even exist, but you exist. See, and you can come back to the universe, or you can go to a new universe, or you can be, as they say, rest in Asylum. So it was a gift to be every black man was a Musallam. This is what the black man has not figured out yet. The people that has helped them to figure it out, he didn't stay along with it to keep seeing what is it to this. Because you haven't heard the white man call you anything close to what I'm saying. It's out of his league, it would say. The league is 3 miles. It's out of his league. We talking about the Asian and the Caucasian is the same. They all come from the Asiatic. The furs means the furs. Everything come after the furs. You was free as Independence Day when you was an Asiatic SUFIAN. And you was world widely known as a Musallam. This is why Muslims still exist today. This is how powerful your essence was. And so they had to make a new Musallam. They called him a Christian. See, this is how it all been. Christ is a play on Allah. Christ is Allah. A Christian is a Muslim.
One in the same.
Right.
In the circus.
Right. A Gnostic is a Musallam. It was two great things. Let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. It was two great things. And we can say that the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, brought the last final piece where all of it is connected as one unity. And that's prophecy proven. So now when we're talking about the perfection of who you are, no longer associating with the black and white duality, but dealing with the first of everything. This is why Sue was taken away. And that's why the Creator is giving it back to the plane of the things made manifest, to take it back to its highest plane of spirit life. Everybody done had their little run. All nations done had their little run.
Yeah.
All the people we made, they done had their little run to rule.
Yeah.
All of them got it in. Like we say equally, we let them all our children play.
Yeah.
We let them grow up from a baby. We let them grow up. And we let them see what they're going to become. We gave them the teachers, and this is what they did with it. Now it's time for the parents to step back and see. And like they say, come back from the dead and see what your children have done.
Yeah.
It's time to sit down and clean. It's time for them to clean up. We got to call them in and tell them to clean up. Clean up. See, there wasn't no authority around. They done slang everywhere.
Yeah.
Now that we back, we got to tell them why all this mess. Now it's time for every nation to clean up their mess that they made and spread everywhere. And we finna make sure they get it up bit by bit.
I ain't lying. Some countries dumping it into the sea. That's the trash disposal. What wicked? Son, what wicked person do something like that?
Come on with it now.
And I always believed that anywhere rivers at and where the city's at, don't you think it will skip that sewage right on the end of that river?
Mm-hmm.
That's his way of life. Evil and wicked, nasty. Yeah, showing up here, washing the river, all that. Wash clothes. Yep, I've seen that over there in India. In the river, yeah. I don't want to be doing that bad.
See, our children, they lost the way. They lost the road. So now ascension rights is afforded to all nations. This is the only way that we all will be able to have all nations on the earth. Now, we not a nation. We are Allah's people, the Creator's people.
That's right.
Everybody else is nations. But we the family of Islam.
Yeah.
And we bring in all nations aboard.
Yeah.
Now, this ain't by force. It's by choice.
That's right.
But Allah loves all his creation. And the only way they can get to Allah is through us. Us. Because we made them. Let us make them.
Yeah.
So now since we made them, all nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace. That's called Islam. Islamism. But there's but one true and divine way. See, and that's the Allah of the all Sufian of Islam. Islam. And that is Islamism. And that is Islamism. That Islamism may be attained in these days, and it is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universally to all nations in all lands.
No nation left behind.
Like they said, they get that from us, the child, no child left behind. We ain't leaving no people.
And when you read that, what's on the print out there, you don't see nothing in there to harm nobody. You don't see no bombs, guns. You meet all this, and big planes that drop the bombs, step bombers, and all this. That sounds like a madman making all that stuff. Never sound like being a man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a nuclear, but I can. Man.
So if you've been around 144 trillion years before other people were thought of,
Yeah.
just the Asiatic woman and the Sufian man.
Oh, that is a beautiful time. Man, just a thought.
And now we offer that one true and divine way for all nations. If not, they will be held to pay. You don't mess up people's property as children.
No.
You don't damage people's property, land, air, and water. This is property of our Creator. Ignorance is no excuse. So now when we're speaking about this is the only way that all nations can come aboard is by worshiping the law of the all Sufian of Islam. Ascension rights for all nations. You don't need no more of the baptism. You don't need no more of the resurrection. That was for when you didn't have the necessary knowledge of ascension rights. So this is Islamism, comes from the word Sufism and Islam. Islamism comes from the word Sufism plus Islam. So Islam is how everything manifests. And Sufism is how, where everything manifested from. These two is what created our unity of left and right hand, left foot, right foot. And when you put them in sync, it creates a motion.
That's right.
All that came from Su. We have all this before indigenous was even a word. Knowing this proves your indigenous status. This pre-existed all forms of existence today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already legally recorded from 610. And this was kept hidden from us off the records, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
To never be remembered.
That's right.
And like I said, they think they can trick Allah because they don't know our Father. They don't know who created them.
They sure did it.
They don't know Allah is the all-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the little worst of the children, you know, you can point your own children out, the Persians. These little MMs, 23, as they are not the first who thought they could trick all.
Look at that.
That's why the Creator be laughing.
Trick. Ain't that something?
All the greatest trick they thought they could do is kill
Look at that.
their mommy and daddy.
Look at that.
They thought they could kill their mommy and
They
daddy.
don't have to hear their mouth no more.
They thought they could kill their parents, their own parents that brought them into this life.
Yep.
We made you.
And they got a reputation for that. Killing their parents.
We made you in hopes that you wouldn't be the mischief
Yeah.
and the disrespect. And that's the most all the nations thought they could do. Get rid of their parents, the first people.
Yeah.
Us.
They did. And take their estate.
Right, and then lie to steal the land.
Yeah.
We told them not to lie, not to cheat, not to steal. And over 6,000 years, look, they couldn't even hold it down. We held it down for trillions. Oh yeah, back to that. Now that we understand the 144 trillions, well, I hope we got a better understanding and know that's Sufian history.
Yeah.
We call that Sufian history. So what Elijah Muhammad was speaking about when you are hearing about trillions of years, or when Malachi York is talking about trillions of years, this is the actuality of what they was talking about.
Look at that.
The time has come for us to know and believe.
That's right.
Out of those 144 trillion years, 77 trillion years ago, the sun was born.
Look at that.
And you was before the sun.
That's power, right? That's power. Some kind of power.
The sun is over 6 billion years of age. The sun is in, that's why it shines so bright. It's the first light we made to come out of our Sufian. That was our ascended masters. If you know the people that were living when Adam and Eve were supposed to be the first people living, that was us, the Asiatics. The Asiatics, Sufians, as is. It is what it is, Islam. All this comes from what we did in the ancient of wisdom, and using our old time, our trillionaire wisdom. No race knows about this. They can't even fiddle their thumb with you. It's why to them, you don't have a birth record. They can't ask any nation to tell you when the black man and the black woman.
They don't have.
See, and that's why the white man made a black man and black woman. So now you got a birth certificate.
Yeah, and a Social Security.
See, this is the whole plot. But the Asiatic Sufian, he don't have no birth record. But the black man and the black woman,
Yeah.
they got a birth record because they ain't with Islam.
Mm-hmm.
All this is brought to you by the divinity itself. See, this is what was called trick knowledge. It was called trick Allah. This is where trick and treat, the whole understanding came from. So the trick Allah, they tried to trick Allah by creating a lie. So when you never used to listen to them, used to say la 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 la, they like, man, we can never get these people attention. They never listened to us. So we finally listened to them when they said lie, 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 when they told lie and lie after lie. Here we are now.
Tell lie. Tell lie, bitch. Tell lie.
Right, tell lie. This is how they thought they could trick Allah. And this is what the Nation of Islam called the trick knowledge. So we talking about all of what we need to know. The black god is the Sufian that the Nation of Islam always is talking about. The black man is God. The original man is the Asiatic man, who is the owner of the earth, the owner of the universe, cream of the crop. All this is talking about equality at its highest of best parts. So with us, it's just the best of the best. Now, since there's others, there's lesser. So now there's the best and there's the less. But only in our eyes, because we know what the best is. Because we come from the best. We come from the best part.
Exactly.
So they needed to trick us, so they ticked us. Something to suck on us. And that was the tick of the white man. Needed something to suck on us, his religion, while we make everything exist for him. So the tick is living off his host, just like the black man is making his religion look fine.
Yeah.
Let me show you the this why this look. If y'all ever heard of the yin yang, I don't know, not the twin yin yang twins, but remember yin yang, or the symbol now that deals with the philosophy of the yin yang, the balance. See, that's Asiatic. This is what you knew before you fell. So this symbol was to remind you of what you knew before you forgot.
Look at that.
That symbol, if that looks familiar, that's called the Sufian.
Look at that.
This is what you was before you were split into just black or white. You are the entire attribute before manifestation, and you every attribute after manifestation.
Yin yang.
Yin yang is the same thing as Sufi
Symbol black design and navy. You know what I mean?
So let's connect this.
Yin yang go down and get kind of deep, though.
Right. It was very simplistic deepness. So let's read about it. Yin yang is a concept from Chinese philosophy.
Okay.
That's Asian.
Yeah.
So now when we talking Asian, we talking these are the people we made.
Yeah.
They come from the Asiatics, us.
Yeah.
The sister. Yin and yang is a concept from Chinese philosophy that represent opposite cosmic principles or forces. You just take that as racist.
Yeah. Male and female.
Right. This is where everything is coming from. These races or forces interact, interconnect, and perpetuate each other. Examples of yin-yang opposite forces include female, male, dark, light, old, young.
Yeah, look at it.
The concept provides a framework for understanding the natural world, human life, and the cosmos.
Look at that.
See, this is what we used before.
Yeah.
This is what we call black and white now.
Beautiful.
See, we had it way
White
deeper.
folks come and do a different damn philosophy.
That's what they had to use to survive. See, so this is where we get the duality thought process from.
Excuse me.
Which is not originally Asiatic. Asiatic don't work from the workshop of duality.
That's right.
The Asiatics work from the workshop of unity. There's a difference between unity and duality.
That's right.
So black and white is what gave us duality. Where we look at white people evil and white people look at black people evil. When that was never a thing in the past. That's not why we made them. It's for unity. But since we forgot, now duality came to be. Because the balance is the soup. So now, let's go. In Chinese philosophy, where the yin is the passive. So you got the Sufi, the fi, Fion. The fi or the fi is the yin. The on or the in is the yang. So all of the yin yang or the Fion came from the Su. Anything hot, cold, short, tall, all come from the Fion. This is what we call the light that the sun shine through. That's called the Fion. The Su-Fion. Sufia. This is where you get powerful. So when what these people call in yin yang philosophy is something they call that's familiar called the chi. See, this word chi that they use is our word. That was the word she. But now, that's what we call the Holy Grail, she. They say chi. And then we say she-ki. Shakin. This is where we get kin. Shakin. Now, this is called chi it was called Su. These are just ancient roots. This is common knowledge. But what I'm telling you about Su is uncommon knowledge. That alone keep white people in check. Against the Chinese man and the Caucasian, this keeps them at bay. See, they know this understanding. This is why they can build technology real good. Because first, this was it's called for us wise knowledge. They took our wise knowledge and now put it in lesser bodies, and now it's called tech knowledge. Our technology was knowing how to use the Su, Fi, and the On. The yin and the yang, and the chi. It was easy as that for us. And we didn't need no letters. We didn't need no books. We didn't need none of that. Of what we have today to explain what we're explaining today. All this that's called the day comes from the word deity. There's only one deity. There's only one day. There's no such thing as second. There's only the first, one day. You keep waking up in the same day. This is not no Monday through Sunday.
That's right.
You are waking up in the same day.
That's right. Look around, same thing, nothing different.
The people just don't remember. This is past their history. We've been around 144 trillion years. The Su. We talking about on the land. The earth, that's why you can trace the earth to be around billions from their carbon dating system. But the word carbon is the word SUFIAN. You're not going to get it through the carbon. You got to get it through the SUFIAN, the actual being. We're talking about being before being the white rabbit was even thought of.
Yeah.
Trillions of years you were wiggling your toes. Sneezing and all that. You were just figuring out how to sneeze. These new things, these ain't your old time wisdom never sneezed. That's what I'm saying. Y'all, you don't know where this stuff come from. This stuff got a cause, and the cause is called all are. Without the existence of all are, the Su, Fayan, could not exist. This is how real, what we say in the field it is. We're talking space-time, real time. So real time don't got to do with the spirit, mind, and body. Real time got to do with the Su. The Su is the self. The self is equivalent to the divine mind that gets directly from the Creator. No middleman between you and the Creator. That's for the others. You they middleman. But you fell asleep. So now everything that has happened while you were asleep only happened for a moment. This is what it means. Time never was when man was not. Before time existed, you existed.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Before
Long time.
anything, before a male and a female, you existed. Sufyan is your original form, your first form, not your flesh. That's what the flesh is mimicking. That's why it's dark. It comes from something. It's called the Su. The white man don't come from the Su. He come out of the Su, not from the Su, or his skin would be dark. He comes from the mind of the Su. So from the spirit of the mind of the Su, this is how all people came to be. We call them our rainbow children. That's why we the ones that's not in the rainbow. You don't see our color in the rainbow. We pre-existed. As they say, the cat is out the bag.
Yep.
The truth is known now.
I've heard that before.
Cat means nine. Nine ether means Sufyan. Cat out the bag. The bag is black. Life out of death. They thought they could trick Allah. They thought they could kill the first. Tricky Ricky. White boy named Rick.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
I remember white boy named
They
Rick.
talking about Tricky Ricky. Trick Rick.
Trick Rick.
That's Trick Daddy.
Make a move behind it.
All our children, their children thought they could trick Daddy. This is what it all came down to. Don't look at it as yours, them. These are your other children. And they thought they can trick Allah.
Oh boy.
They don't know what to expect, but we do. We said love, but they don't know what love is. We tried to help them and show them. So this is the only way that they can actually know, without a shadow of a doubt. Only your only mind can create duality, because now we done made it to the point where Su means one. So when they said the word second is first. SE is SU. Everything that starts with an S comes from the Su. Su. That is the call from our divine creator. Short and sweet and good, like a Georgia peach. You know a tree by its fruit. Now we know the people by its races, by its colors. None of the people told you who you were. Hell, they don't even know who they are. Or they would have told you, you made me. How you don't know? And see, that's how you know who knows who.
So to reason. It should be.
See, and this was called KOS, Logics. And this is how we knew everything.
Man.
That's how the word man became.
Yeah.
We had a science to know man.
Mm-hmm. Formula for him, how he come. Look at that.
Any creature on existence comes from logic. But this is what the Su knows.
Yeah.
This is what the Sufian now gives all. If you care, have any interest in that which has been hidden from you for trillions of years, here you have it. And let's see what the people can do with it. Can the people abide clearly by the instructions of the way of love? See, this is a coherent and a sensible thought right here we're talking about.
Coherent and sensible thought.
This ain't gonna harm nobody.
Yeah.
This will bring sensibility and equal justice to all. This is the method that is used to produce the vision we want to see. This is the order way of thinking. Order, not disorder.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking about order.
Capital Hill order.
Right. Order thinking.
Mm-hmm. Out of order.
So this was the message that Allah wanted to give to all. So, As-salam, as-salam, as-salam. Latif al-Sufian Louis. Allah Shifa.